Hello, and welcome to another day on the channel. My name is RNGesus, and today we'll be doing some Arena Cube draft. This is the first time I'm going to be drafting it, so I have no idea what the archetypes are. I was kind of looking through the card pool, not really too much, and I can tell there's like aggro theme, counters theme, instant sorceries, sacrifice, but that's really about it. I mainly went to look at the multicolor kind of tell me. There's also like a flicker kind of stuff going on in blue-white. There's like a sacrifice slash reanimator kind of thing going on in black-white. And a bit of aggro, counters, plus one counter theme, and then some artifact stuff. But yeah, that's all I really know about it. I don't know what deck is better or worse. I have never played it before. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, in pack 1, pick 1, we have some good cards with the Wandering Emperor, super strong. This is the powered down Mayhook Massacre, so it loses the ability of whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. So it's a little worse, but it's decent. Junji's pretty okay. Noxious Gearhulk, pretty strong card. Mina Harker, attacks more like for the aggro decks. There's a Humiliation, decent removal spell. Tireless Tracker, pretty decent. Inscription's fine. My eyes are kind of looking at the Wandering Emperor as just the most powerful card in the pack. Like, sure, Noxious Gearhulk is pretty strong, but I like the Wandering Emperor more. Yeah, let's take the Wandering Emperor. See where that leads us. Here is pack 2. Or pick 1, pack 1, pick 2. There is a Prosper Tomebound. That's a pretty strong card. Card draw engine, mana creation. There is Felidar Retreat for more late game stuff. Pilgrim's Eye, playable in any deck, safer pick. Llanowar Elves is a 1/1 that adds a green. Jugan Defends the Temple. Do we want to stay to our Wandering Emperor, or do we want to take Prosper? And try and maybe go into black-red, see if that's open. I think here we want to take the most powerful card in the pack. And that's between Jugan Defends the Temple and Prosper Tomebound. And I like Prosper a lot, but I think Jugan's just better. Just for the fact that it's mono-colored rather than dual-colored, so we don't have to like go into 2 colors for it in pick 2. And this can also just turn anything into a threat later in the game, along with working with a possible encounter synergy if we work on both of the, go into a path for 2 of these. Here, there is Dragon Skull Summit, Den of the Bugbear, Legion's Landing, has some aggro, Sir Farron the Henge Hammer, Guardian Idol, good, decent ramp, Power Word Kill. I see some definitely mono-red aggro stuff in this pack. I think I like taking the Crag or the Landing. If we're wanting to lean more aggressive, Legion's Landing is the way to go. And that's the only white card in the pack, so you might just want to cut it off, see what happens. Yeah. Now we get a Masked Vandal, Kobold Warcaller, Sea Tower Imprisonment, and a Basilisk Caller. There's also Magmatic Channeler, Karuga's fine. Rafine's Tower's decent. Mana Fixing. So do we want to go to the +1/+1 counter strategy? Or do we want to go more aggressive and take Kobold Warcaller? Or we could just stay open and take the Sea Tower Imprisonment. It's just a good removal spell. Let's take the Sea Tower Imprisonment. Just good removal, and white seems to be our main color. And now we could take an Angel Fire Ignition as just a very aggressive card. Seems pretty good. Exclude is still Exclude, Memory Deluge, both good cards in blue. We maybe could go into a more controlling deck, take Exclude. We could really go anywhere we want with this. Let's take Angel Fire. I think I like Angel Fire right now. As we get a Blade Splicer, Eater of Virtue, which is basically just a bone splitter with extra text. Twin Shot Sniper, pretty decent. But is it better than Blade Splicer? Restoration of Gonjo also has an argument, but I think we'd rather take Blade Splicer. And we have nothing right now that gets value with Eater of Virtue, so Blade Splicer it is. And no red in the pack. But there is a Ojutai's command that reanimates this creature, gains for life, counter target creature spell, draw a card. We are in a very controlling sort of white deck, maybe we could take it. Or we could take the Hall of the Storm Giants. We could just take Cathar Commando, maybe go into like a mono white aggro deck. And it's also just good in control anyway, as in main deck Artifacted Enchantment Hate. I like that over Ojutai's Command. And now what? All of these are pretty medium. Cruel Celebrant, we're not really made for the sacrifice deck. Spectral Adversary. Yeah, let's just take, like, I don't know, Tovolar's Huntmaster, in case we go back into white-green. And just the strongest card in the pack. Here is our wheel pack. There is a Petrier's Humiliation. The Mina Harker / the Thalia is gone. There's Inscription of Abundance, though, which is a good ++ encounter card. There's a Cliff Top Retreat if we want to go into red-white aggro for mana fixing. I don't hate the Cliff Top Retreat. I won't miss an Inscription. Okay, well, now we probably should have taken the Inscription because the Land War Elve's still in the pack. Really good mana dork. Feels a little bad about that, but oh well. And Surfaron, Den of the Bugbear, Rootbound Crag. We'll take Rootbound Crag. You might want to splash a red card or something. Mass Vandal as main deck, Artifact and Enchantment Hate. Wow, Memory Deluge and Raw still in the pack. We'll take the Raw. Shigeki here, because it's on color. And it could be decent. And Ojutai's Command Wield. Okay. So, that's definitely something of note. Here is our next pack. We have some powerful cards with Elish Norn, Embercleave, Jaxus, Ophiomancer. Specifically cards in our color, though, is... Oh, did they update Fall of the Imposter? Put a ++ counter on up to one target creature and exile the creature with greatest power among creatures target opponent controls? What's the difference? Oh, it's 2 mana instead of 3. Oh, that's pretty good. There's also Asika's Chariot, which now creates only 1 cat and crews 2. Ulvenwald Oddity, pretty good. I think I like taking the Chariot. Like, we've got Blade Splice. We've got a lot of tokens, actually. No, let's take the Oddity. It's a late game card and aggro card. I like it. And here... There's nothing here much for us. Like, Aether Sphere Harvester's fine. But we'd rather just take the Touch of the Spirit Realm as some removal. Yeah, I like that. Other notable cards. Lightning Strike. If we want to go into, like, red-green, we can take Halana and Alana. Or maybe we can splash Halana and Alana. Like, we do have Rootbound Crag and Clifftop Retreat. Like, we might just splash Angel Fire Ignition as well. Let's just take Touch, and if it wheels, we will consider splashing it. Here, Dramoka's Command, pretty good. No artifacts or enchantments living on our board. Birth of Meletus is fine as well, and Daunt the Triumph is some decent fixing. But we'll just take Dromcom. Circuit Mender, Shelter, Kazandu Mammoth are all reasonable cards. Same with Invoke Justice. But we'll just take Dromcom. And now we are past Bark Steam Vents, Xander's Lounge, Rex Sage, Valorous Stance, Maze Mind Tome. How much artifact enchantment hate do we have? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 3 just main deck artifact enchantment hate. What's one more? Or we could just take the Valorous Stance as a decent removal spell. Let's take the Rex Sage. There are definitely going to be a lot of artifacts and enchantments that we want to deal with. And now, Amiria's Call. A Tangled Florahedron. Let's take the call. Main deckable land. Minsk and Boo. Timeless Heroes. Do you want to take that over Cast Out or Stonecoil Serpent? Or Dragon's Guard Elite? Like, we have 2 or 3 instants and sorceries, so Dragon's Guard Elite is not good enough. So we could take Minsk and Boo. I don't hate taking Minsk and Boo. We also have a Changeling, so we could sacrifice it to Minsk and Boo to draw some cards. Yeah, we can splash Minsk and Boo. And now Teleportation Circle. Flickers artifacts or creatures. We've got not much in the way of flicker targets, like Tovolar's Huntmaster is fine. But that's more for the blue-white rather than green-white. So we'll just take Spar's Headquarters. Some more mana fixing. And Banalish Marshal really good for mono white, but we're not playing mono white. So instead we'll take the Cave of the Frost Dragon. Good creature land. On our wheel, Jaxus, the Troublemaker, still in the pack. Royal Eruption as well, but we'll just take Fall of the Imposter. Removal spell. Okay, Helena and Elena wield. We did say we would consider it, but we're already playing Minsk and Boo and Angel Fire Ignition. I don't think we want to splash anything else. Huh. Might just take the Sokens on. No, let's take Helena and Elena. And we're definitely not playing splashing Targnar. We'll just take the Shelter. Steam Vents, sure. We're more looking for some better fixing if we want to splash these cards. But yeah, the deck is coming along pretty sweet. You've got some decent removal spells, a lot of an artifact and enchantment hate, and some great powerful cards that we can splash. Although the fixing isn't amazing. Elvish Reclaimer, I mean, I guess. There might be a land we want to tutor out, but I doubt it. Elvish Reclaimer is more for the Field of the Dead decks. And we are not set up to be even close to playing Field of the Dead. We've got 4 lands, including, and then if we include forest, swamp, and plains, that's 7. So we'd have to hit nearly all of our non-basics. Abundant Harvest, sure. We're not playing Dragon's Guard. And a Sulphur Falls, sure. Here in our pack 3, speaking of better mana, we have a Rockfall Vale and Sunpetal Grove over an Augur of Autumn or Paradise Druid. Yeah, I like that. Like, we're not passing up that much. It's a Mana Dork and an Augur. Like, the Mana Dork does fix, though. No, let's just be strict and take the Sunpetal Grove. The Hourglass Coven. Ah, the unbeatable card. I mean, in Cube, it's probably not as unbeatable. But it's still a really strong card. Here, Hopeful Initiate to use our counters into Artifact Enchantment Hate, like we don't have enough of that already. Cosmos Elixir, Sigiled Sword of Valeron, Oracle of Moldiah. Let's take Elspeth. Puts counters on stuff. Get some shield counter stuff going. And now we can take like a Knight of Autumn. Retrofitter Foundry is kind of cute. Charming Prince. We've got Blade Splicer. Reclamation Sage. That's it. Selfless Savior, also fine. Karn, great card. But let's take the Knight of Autumn. I mean, do we want to risk having it wheel? And take the Forceful Cultivator? I think I like taking the Forceful Cultivator as like a way to mana fix. And now we can take a Fabled Passage over the Celestius. I'm down for that. Fabled Passage as just a main deck fixing. Werewolf Pack Leader would be fine. Restoration Angel also fine. Archon. But Fabled Passage. And now Fight Rigging, Adeline, and Tenacious Pup all in one pack. Tenacious Pup would be pretty decent, but Fight Rigging is super strong too. And so is Adeline. Let's take the Adeline. Super strong card. And sure, the Fight Rigging would be great with it, but I think that it's just better to take the big, scary creature itself, rather than something that can create them. Because that would require setup, first of all. And second of all, we already have similar effects like Elena, and Minsk and Boo, so we don't really need another Fight Rigging. Here, just Champions of Tyr over, like, I don't know, Heliod, Storm. And Ismaru as aggressive 1-drop. Cute. Explore. This is like a Rampant Growth or something, or I don't even know if Rampant Growth. I don't think Rampant Growth exists in the cube. But we'll just take Ismaru. Like, there wasn't really anything else there in that pack for us. So we seem to be like a more aggressive style counters deck, splashing for some powerful cards that are also aggressive. Shigeki is questionable in this deck. Like, we're not really a rampish deck or a slow deck by any means. I don't know if you guys can hear, but a plane's flying by. Very annoying. Domri, cute, but Dryad Greenseeker. Make sure we never draw or use our draw step to draw land. Wilt. We already have enough main deck artifact and enchantment hate. On our wheel pack, Rockfall Vale could be good, but Paradise Druid is also good as well. I think Paradise Druid is better here. And now we can just, like, take a Hopeful Initiate. And Knight of Autumn Wield. Perfect. So, yeah, deck's coming along pretty well. Yeah, I think we can cut Shigeki. These last picks don't really matter too much. Mizzix Mastery. I don't think we're playing Abundant Harvest. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We wield the Fight Rigging. Nice. Well, glad we took Adeline over it then. Sure. And deck's looking pretty good. Pretty good indeed. So, looks like we gotta make 5 cuts. We can put the Amaria's Call with the lands. We'll probably cut 1 land, so just basically 4 cuts. Dryad Greenseeker seems a little more slow than we would like. Tovlar's Huntmaster is a 6-drop. Is it worth playing? Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do late game either way. Ismaru's just an aggressive 1-drop that has no synergy, so we'll cut that. Do we really want to play all of these? Angel Fire Ignition, Helena, and Minskin Boo? Our fixing is Paradise Druid, Forceful Cultivator, and some lands. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red sources for 3 red cards. Not bad. We can probably have only 1 mountain out of all of this. Yeah, I think I like that version better. How does our removal look? We've got Touch of the Spirit Realm, Fall of the Imposter, Dramoka's Command, Knight of... I'll not count the Artifact Enchantment removal. Sea Tower Imprisonment. And that's it. So, not the greatest amount of removal, so we don't think we want to cut any of that. Let's cut the Hopeful Initiate. Yeah, we have enough Artifact and Enchantment hate that we don't need that. And we'll cut a 4-drop, probably. Champions of Tyr. Yeah, let's cut the champ. But it's such a good card, if not removed. Maybe Elspeth Resplendent. Yeah, I've not been amazed by Elspeth. Plus and plus encounter, and Flying Vigilance, First Strike, and Lifelink. The minus isn't also that amazing. Yeah. I think we can cut the Tovlar's Huntmaster. Like, we already have enough late game cards like Ulvenwald, Oddity, and stuff like that. Yeah, I like this version of the deck. So, this deck is just going to be a counters deck, with some splashing red cards. And a good name, I'll come back to you when I have one. Alright, I have come back with the name For the Emperor, because our pack 1 pick 1 was, well, the Wandering Emperor. And we got a lot of, like, soldier kind of stuff that'll help protect. Anyway, let's get into the games and see how the deck does. Going in blind, see what happens. On the play, this hand seems fine. Mass Vandal by itself. Lead off with Clifftop Retreat. They lead off with Field of the Dead. That's worrying. We'll just cast Mass Vandal and pass. Yeah, just seeing Field of the Dead is always a worrisome card. That means they're probably some sort of control deck splashing everything like from the last cube. People just don't know how to have fun besides making 5-color random control Field of the Dead shenanigans. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm probably going to build one of those decks one day. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. That's rude. How about we Dromcom? Counter and fight. Swing for 2, and pass the turn. Next turn we can Fight Rigging Legion's Landing. And then if we draw like a 2-drop, we can Angel Fire, or 1-drop, Angel Fire Ignition it. Like Land War Elves, and then transform. Blood Artist into Alseid. Yeah, sure. Fall of the Imposter, fine card. But we'll just cast Legion's Landing into Fight Rigging. And we'll put the counter on the Vampire because it has lifelink and it'll be better. Yeah, no big cards here, so we'll just put a Cathar Commando underneath. Swing for 2. Make sure they can't gain any life with the lifelink from Alseid if they try and attack. If they get like an extra 2 power, Fall of the Imposter can help fix that problem. Ebon Death, Draco Lich. Huh. Neat. Well, we'll play Fall of the Imposter. Counter here. Move to combat. Counter here. Swing for 6. They take it. And we'll pass a turn. Sure, we'll also take 6, but they only gain 1 life versus us gaining 3. They cast Usher of the Fallen. Sure thing. And they just pass. Jugan defends the temple. Pretty decent. We'll move to combat. Counter on Masked Vandal. Swing for 7. Or for 5. If they like double block, we can use touch. Yeah, I like that. And they just block like that. Yeah, sure. I'm fine. If they sacrifice their Alseid, we can punish them by using Touch of the Spirit Realm and Flicker the Usher. And now we get... I should have exiled the Ebon Death. Dang it. We should have flickered the Ebon Death so that way we would kill the Usher and the Ebon Death would still be protected. That was just a bad move on my part. A Yara, wow. That is a splash. Well, Ebon Death's still dead. Angel Fire Ignition here. Might be the play. Or Jugan defends the temple. Let's go with Jugan. Counter on the lifelinker, swing for 9. They can double block our vampire, that's fine. They just chump, drain us for 1. We'll play a Myria tapped and pass the turn. The Hourglass Coven, boo. Actually, we're still in a winning position, so it's not even that bad. Yeah, next turn we can use Fight Rigging, grow, get Mass Vandal, and get a Cathar Commando. Yeah. It's just really dependent on what hags they get. Hag of Siphon Breath, or they get Hag of Scoured Thoughts, and Hag of Dark Duress. So we have to discard cards, and they mill and exile our grave. Wait, that can exile our Angel Fire. Boo. Well, counter's here. I mean, I guess we're gonna go killing. Blade Splicer. Into Angel Fire Ignition on the Phyrexian Golem. Give it haste. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, Haste. Counter on the Masked Vandal. Cast Cathar Commando, and because it is a Changeling, Masked Vandal also has First Strike. So it can't be so easily killed in combat. We transform Adanto into Adanto, or we transform the Legion's Landing into Adanto, the first fort. They chump block with the Hag of Duress. They're still taking 12. Solo block with the Hourglass Coven itself. Sure thing. You sacrifice the wrong golem, or sacrifice the wrong coven there, buddy. Because the golem has trample, while the Mass Vandal does not. And you still take 5. And we'll pass the turn. We mill Adeline, Helena, and Elspeth. And they exile away our Angel Fire Ignition. Rude. They play land into a Spawn of Mayhem, but I don't think even that can save them. Selfless Savior. Sure thing. And they pass. Paradise Druid. Pretty decent. Well, I made me move to combat. Counter on the Golem. Swing with our first strikers. And if they want to trade something away for the Vampire, that's fine. Blade Splicer giving first strike is just brutal for them, because it makes blocking so much harder. Chump block the Golem, chump block the Vampire. Still got one more chump block there, buddy. Probably the Scoured Thoughts. I mean, they may consider that as our win condition at the moment, since there's not really any other way they can win. So just a bunch of chump blocks. They'll sacrifice the Blood Artist. And then sacrifice Selfless Savior to protect a Yarrow. They probably should have done it first, Selfless Savior, then sacrifice Blood Artist. Oh, they're not even sacrificing. Interesting. Well, we'll cast Paradise Druid. And add 5 counters onto it. So now we have a 7/6 hexproof. They mill 5 spells. Not the greatest for us. Wolven Body, the Watering Emperor, Forceful Cultivator, Sea Tower, and Minsk. They cast Elspeth Conquers Death on our Blade. Like, doing it on the Blade Splicer feels bad. So they just get rid of the Remnants. But they are still very dead. Counter here, sure, why not? Swing. On to the next game. Alright, on the draw, this hand looks pretty good. We've got some Artifact Enchantment Hate. We've got now a removal spell and a ramp spell. And our threat is Fight Rigging. Gala Greeter. Well, we'll cast a Paradise Druid. Pass the turn. Temple Garden, they pass. We will play Plains and cast Le Fight Rigging. And Hideaway Adeline. Legion's Landing. Put a counter on the Vampire. Pass the turn. We can start getting some lifelink going if they have a big creature. Oh, come on. Well, that's a broken card right there. Although Forceful Cultivator is a great draw. Because now with no lands in hand, it's only 2 mana. We have double white, double green. Let's just get our red source. And we'll just cast Touch of the Spirit Realm. Hey, you gonna flicker this and remove its ability? Counter on the Vampire. No attacks, pass turn. Well, now Lae'zel is now targetable. But the Specialize is still worrisome. Specialize into what seems to be green or white at the moment. So the white one isn't like... Oh, that's a Teferi. Hey, Teferi. What you up to? Big T over there. So they blue, green, white, or green, white, splashing blue. I could see that. So what's the green one do? Other creatures you control and creature cards in your hand perpetually get +1/+1. Okay. So it becomes an anthem, basically. Untap the 2 lands. Well, Sea Tower Imprisonment. Soldier of the Watch. Counter here. Everything at Teferi. Die! And we transform Madonto. Neat. So, Angel Fire's looking pretty good. Please don't say you have Artifact Enchantment Hate. Vorinclex. Okay, sure, that's fine. If it's just Vorinclex, then we're all fine and dandy. Wait a second. That shuts off my counter synergies, you monster! How dare you? Well, you want another soldiers? We'll move to combat and swing with everything. This doesn't do anything anymore because dang Vorinclex. Double team. And do we blow up the treasure? Like, if the treasure wasn't important, then they would have gotten like a plus 1 encounter or gain life. So we'll Reclamation Sage, blow up the treasure, and pass because we can make a vampire rather than cast soldiers. So what you got, Opie? Vorinclex definitely hurt. Sigardian Evangel. Well, that's three 3/1s. Sigardian Evangel. We will create a vampire. And another Evangel. I mean, yikes. That was a lot of stuff. Well then. Knight of Autumn. Gain 5 life or destroy the treasure. Because Explosive Encounter doesn't really seem worth it. Let's just gain life. And then pass the turn. We'll create another vampire. Because the vampires seem really good against these Evangels. Ren and 7. With 10 counters. That is really bad with Sigardian Evangels. But instead, they create Tree Folk. Being able to restart the chain of Sigardian Evangels with Ren's ult is super scary. Minsk and Boo. Yeah, I'll cast that. It's gonna be a 1. And we'll put a counter on Boo. It's so sad. All Minsk and Boo wanted to do was have some fun time. And launch a little critter. But Vorinclex is the ultimate hate bearer for our deck. Because we have like so many plus and counter stuff, and Vorinclex just shuts it all down. They can create another Tree Folk. If we have the chance to kill Vorinclex, we must take it. So, Chump Block Tree Folk. And I am not taking any chances. Everything else block Vorinclex. No chances will be taken. This thing must die. They kill Boo, Paradise Druid, Knight of Autumn, and Reclamation Sage. Sure. We'll get Boo back. They create another Tree Folk. Dryad of the Elysian Grove. They're probably going to choose counter. Yeah. Draw 3. Wow. 3 lands and an Explorer. We'll create another hamster. We'll plus on said hamster. We will Angel Fire Ignition the hamster. We will move to combat, counter on the hamster, cast Adeline, and swing with the hamster. And sure, we created the 1-1. The 1-1 doesn't really matter too much. Ren goes down to 1, and we can play land, pass the turn. We're playing land because if we want to throw Boo next turn, this is definitely going to be the play. Yeah, next turn we can like throw Boo at their face, deal a bunch of damage, and draw 7 cards. Actually, we could like just... No, Boo! Why? My beloved hamster. You were always enough for me. Ooh, Uvenwald oddity. Me likey. Create a vampire. Jump block. Upkeep, create another Boo. Jugan defends the temple. Well, Angel Fire Ignition this. Plus on Adeline, because now it has Trample and Haste. Cast a Ulvenwald Oddity to pump Adeline's power by 1. Please don't say you have a removal spell. It's like a Ball of Jed Recovery. No, you already played Ball of Jed Recovery. Ojutai's command. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Adeline. Swing for 13. And another extra damage. And it has Trample. So, it's going to be hard to stop. They're just going to try and chump block it and live at 1. Sure. We go to 51. Good luck beating that, OP. Your tree folk is big. They swing with Champions of Tyr, and we lose Minsc and Boo. That sucks. I was really hoping on throwing Adeline there. Maybe the correct play was to throw Adeline there after combat instead of giving Adeline 3+1/+1 counters. Maybe. They cast Solemn Simulacrum with Lifelink. And they cultivate. They have 6 cards left in deck. I'm not sure how long they can hold this up. Like, we have 51 life, and they are at 3. So they are dead on many fronts. Put a counter on our vampire. No attacks, pass the turn. They can't really use Ren's plus ability anymore for the fact that they'll mill themselves out. So they'll just have to sacrifice Ren to create a Tree Folk. Which the Tree Folk is definitely scary still. They gain 2 life. They swing. Sure, 10. Honestly, the clock isn't even going to be fast enough. We'll create a vampire. Counters here and here. Just throw them on the lifelinkers. They have no flying blockers, so we can animate cave. Moved combat. Counter on the cave. We could have animated the cave on our upkeep, give it a counter again, and kill them. Yeah, that was a misplay. That was 100% a misplay on our part. Or on my part. Wait! I forgot! The tree has reach! The tree has reach! No! The tree has reach! Punt! Oh, God, no. Our plans have been spoiled. No! Hellish Norn. Things are all going all kinds of bad. How could bad things happen to bad people? Well, create a vampire that's gonna die. Why not? Chump block here, chump block here. And all that we're left with is an Adeline. And we go to 28. Hey, Jugan, welcome back. Oh, yeah, you're dead. Good games. Wow, what a game. They're at 4 cards left, and they were at 3 and we just couldn't get those last points of damage. We could have thrown Minsk and Boo there, or instead of putting the counters in Adeline, we should have just thrown Minsk and Boo, or thrown it after combat. That was probably the correct play. Dang. Oh well. On to the next game. On the draw, this hand looks fine. Forceful Cultivator is looking pretty decent if we draw another green source. Play an island. This is like a control-y flicker deck. Well, if they have any artifacts enchantments, we've got it covered. Speaking of which, Cold Steel Heart. Pass the turn. Midnight Clock, that's even bigger of a threat. Into a Suspicious Stowaway. We draw Forest for Cultivator. And we'll cast Night of Autumn. Blow up the Midnight Clock. Maybe we should have touched the Spirit Realm instead, killing the Stowaway. Yeah, no, we can just Wandering Emperor, exile the Stowaway. They discard Hard Evidence, and just pass. Well, now we moved combat. Swing for 2. And since it's already night, we'll just pass the turn. They have something. They can't even activate Castle. They create a 3/3 Shark. Sure thing. We can just flicker that with touch. Cast the Wandering Emperor. No counter magic, please. Thank you very much. It resolves, and we will exile the Werewolf. So they don't draw more cards. Slice that in half, gain some life. And Poppet Stitcher. That's a little worrisome. But Dromcom can help with that. We will move to combat. Swing for 2. They take it. We'll cast a Forceful Cultivator. Go fetch a Mountain. So now we have access to our red cards. And we'll do this on their upkeep. If they have like a Tail's End or something. I don't really remember what's in the cube. Or like any hexproof trick. It just gets exiled. We are happy with that. They just blink of an eye, Forceful Cultivator, so they can kill the Emperor. Makes sense. They play Plains, swing for 2. Sure thing, buddy. Play the land. Cast the Cultivator. Go grab a Plains. And cast Jugan, defends the temple. That'll be great soon. And it's daytime. Ooh, Cave of the Frost Dragon. That's scary. Luckily, we have some instant speed removal for it. We'll put the counter on the Cultivator and the Knight. We'll cast Fall of the Imposter. Counter here. We don't have quadruple white. No. Blade Splicer. Create a 3/3. Move to combat. Swing. They can create a 1/1. That's fine. They still need one more token if they want to transform Poppet Stitcher. So they just chump block with Poppet Stitcher. Like, doesn't do anything. Or the Decayed Zombies don't do anything because they can't block. This is how they're going to block. Sure it is. And we'll pass. It's day again. Hooray! So, do you have a board wipe? Hopefully not. Was there a Day of Judgment in this cube? I don't remember. They're tapping Cave. So we're not Drom-comming today. Is this Invoke Justice? Bringing back the Shark Typhoon? Oh, farewell. Well, that's rude. Meanies. Well, now we'll Land War Elves Legion's Landing. It's not nearly as powerful as killing them. Maybe we shouldn't have overextended that much. Oh, Elspeth Resplendent. Nice. Oh, no. They dismiss it. We swing with both. They can't animate the cape, but they can create a 1/1, which is why we have Dromcom. Counter and fight. Dismissed. And then they just pass. We'll cast a Fight Rigging. Good top deck. And what do we hide away? I mean, glad we got rid of all those lands, but sheesh. No choice. No attacks because they can animate the cave. Or, you know, just cast a Hullbreaker Horror. Oh yeah, they fixed it by making it counterable. That's how you fix a 7/8 that bounces everything your opponent could ever try and do. Search the Count's Castle, aka Thirst for Discovery. Yikes. We draw a Masked Vandal. Hey, that can blow up your Cold Steel Heart. Except we don't have any creatures in graveyard. Nice. No creatures in graveyard to exile with it. Yeah, I don't think we can win this one. GG's. And a Saiba Siphoner. Yeah, we weren't getting our way out of that one. On to the next game. This hand's looking pretty good. We'll fetch, with Failed Passage, a white source as we draw our mountains. So now we have nearly perfect mana. We're just missing some white pips. And we pass. Ah, they're also green-white. They play the Birth of Melodis. You know what they were missing in this cube? Pollen Bright Druid. I haven't seen that. I mean, they probably have that. We draw our planes, and we'll just cast a Masked Vandal. No value. It's just a 2-mana 1/3. That's also a golem for Blade Splicer. But we're going to add a line hunt here. Start getting that train rolling. They gain 2 life. Into Banishing Light. Boo. Yeah, we have some more Artifact Enchantment Hate in our deck somewhere. We'll not reveal that we're red just yet. We'll just cast Blade Splicer, even though it's not as mana efficient as casting the Wandering Emperor. Just because we would rather have Wandering Emperor as a surprise. As like a combat trick-esque. They cast Settle the Wilds. Ah, they're ramping. And they drew a card off of it, which is also quite worrisome. Cast the Emperor. Counter on the Golem. And pass the turn. Please don't say they fetch like Tovolar's Huntmaster or something. Vorin, our worst nightmare, has come true. Ugh. We hate Vorinclex here. Oh, nice. Well, now they're punished for attacking. Cathar Commando, blow that up. We get Adeline back, hooray! And Druid Paradisio. Druido Paradisio. Swing. They take, what is that, 8 damage. Pretty good. And they cast an Innkeeper. Into Toski. I mean, that can block Adeline forever. When in doubt, attack with everything. They can eat the golem, but I'm still taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 damage, yeah, going down to 3, so I'm happy with this. We'll play Rootbound Crag and pass a turn. Good top decks are like Amiria's Call. Minsk and Boo just wins the game. I mean, they're dead on board right now. They have to attack. We'll block. They have 1, 2 blockers at the moment. Land War Elves isn't the greatest top deck. But swing with everything, see what happens. All of these humans created by a single card. Kyodai. They go to 4. And 1, 2, 3. Block there, there, and there. They're still dead. Good games. No matter how they block, they're still dead. On to the next game. On the play, this hand looks pretty decent. Turn 1 tap land. And we'll follow it up with a Cathar Commando. Actually, let's go with the Land War Elves. It's not as aggressive, but we get our Champions of Tier online faster. Do they have, like, Foul Play? A March of Otherworldly Light? Oh, well, that's rude. Well, now I'm sad. We'll just cast Cathar Commando and pass. It has Flash. That's probably a misplay. But it doesn't matter. Swing. Rescuer Twinga. We cannot Dromcom this to save it. So it trades. But we'll cast the Knight of Autumn. Putting some counters on it. They land and go. Swing. Most of the counter magic in the set requires double blue, so I doubt they have counter magic. Besides the double team, I think Champions of Tier could be like a playable card in like actual paper. They just pass. And Helena and Elena, don't mind if I do. We'll give that a +1/+1 counter. Just for the fact that it can add more counters to everyone else based off of its counters. Or its power, anyway. The +1. So do they want to kill Helena and Elena or the Champions of Tier? Because we're going to put the counters on the Knight of Autumn to spread our threats out. So they want to kill the 7 damage, kill the Champions of Tier and the one that it comes behind it, or the Helena and Elena. It's not going to be... Oh, yikes. They kill everything. Well, not kill, but they stop nearly everything. Yeah. Wow. Surprising. Round of applause for them. Well, we'll Knight of Autumn. Blow you up. Pass a turn. They cast the Scarab God. Touch the Spirit Realm. Exile the Scarab God. And chalk this in. We have enough life that 3 life won't matter too much. Just so we can hold up Dromcom. Tenacious Underdog. Sure thing. We'll cast Elspeth Resplendent. And minus. Fight Rigging, Legion's Landing, and a bunch of lands. Let's put Legion's Landing into play. Honestly, I've been very disappointed every time I -3 Elspeth. It's always just not as great as what I know it could be. They Infernal Grasp our Knight. And we'll chump block with Vamp, or they just kill it. You know, on the plus side, now we can Wandering Emperor exile it. The underdog. Ooh, Blade Splicer. I like that even more. Just because now we can hold up Dromcom. Well then, I guess now we have to counter and fight. For gains indestructible. No blocks. Our turn. We could exile the Gear Hulk, but we'll just pass. And we'll exile one of their angels. They blitz Tenacious Underdog. And cast a Witch. Wandering Emperor. Slice up an angel. Eat this. They draw a card. And followed the Imposter. Not bad. Well, we'll create a Samurai here. And then cast Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, into Fall of the Imposter. We'll put a counter on the Blade Splicer. And swing for 4. And create a 1/1. They go down to 7. And we pass. Painful Bond. Yikes. 2 mana draw 2. Maybe lose a life in the process. Turns out it's a very good card. Memory Deluge, maybe not even lose a life at all. Yeah, things are not looking great for us. They swim with an angel. And the Gear Hulk. Double block. Disfit. Yikes. This is going to be a tough one to pull out from. We draw a land. We'll cast Oddity. Swing. We transform Legion's Landing and create a 1/1. Are we just dead? Like, are they dead or are we dead? Let's see. They block, block, block. Take 5. They go down to 1. A singular damage off of lethal. Is there like anything that we could have done differently in this game? Oh well. GG's. Well, I mean, first time doing cube. This cube, it's not that bad. Maybe we should have went into a different color. Like, we got none of like the plus and counter synergy stuff like Hangerback Walker, Hardened Scales, or Conclave Mentor. But yeah, oh well. Well, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the content as much as I do. And I hope to see you all again next time. Have a great day.